why you aren't taking action in the direction of your dreams, your goals, your desires. So you have that inkling, that pull, that nudge to start a new business, to pave a new path, to start the side hustle, to take the course. You feel it, yet you're not taking action. There's inaction, procrastination, excuses. A simple fix to this: you are tuning into the wrong voice. Now that I have this, it kind of looks like a pair of boobs. It's not supposed to be. What do I mean by the wrong voice? You clearly have two parts within you. You have an ego part and a higher self. Your higher self, your intuition, is what is nudging you and pulling you and guiding you to start the very thing, to continue down the journey, the path. Say you already did start the new thing and it's like the ego steps in, it's like, it's not working, revert, go back. That's your ego voice, right? But your higher self is saying, let's go, come on, insert your name, come on, this way, let's go. But sometimes this voice is going to be much louder than this voice is. So just place your current dream, goal, desire situation in the lens of what I'm going to be talking about. Your unhealthy voice compared to your healthy self. This is all your authentic self. Your conditioned, wounded self versus your authentic, true self. Your lower level self compared to your higher level self. So your lower level is like your primitive part of your mind. Your higher self, imaginative, the intuitive part of you, okay? This part of you is to keep you in the familiar. That's your mind's job, to keep you safe. And that voice can be much louder than the whispers and the pull and the nudges of your heart, of your intuition. And especially when we're really used to really tuning into this side of ourselves, to this voice. So now that you can be aware of the two parts of you, the two different voices, have you heard that old ancient proverb? It's like, which wolf do you feed? And I'm like, how fitting. I've been really pulled to wolves lately, and it's a reminder, which wolf am I going to feed? Which part of me am I going to feed? And which part of me am I going to starve? How to make this voice quiet down. And sometimes it needs care, love, the truth from this part of you. So it's literally like having a conversation with yourself, just like you would have a conversation with a friend or a child to explain to them what's really going on, because they can't see what you can see. It's like having that conversation with yourself. So the part of you that is full of the fear of, oh, if I go down that path, fear of rejection, fear of failure, and this is becoming louder than this voice. Now that you can have awareness, connect to this part of you. What is it trying to tell you? So if it's like the primitive part of your mind, you could fail, people can reject you. That's your mind just doing its job. It is to keep you alive. It is not to make you happy. So to keep you alive, it needs to keep you in the familiar, in what is safe, in your comfort zone. Even if you're uncomfortably comfortable in your comfort zone, this part of you would rather you be in the safe and the familiar zone than to step out into the unfamiliar. So just connecting this part of you and be like, okay, thank you, mind, for doing your job, but we can trust the deeper wisdom of my heart. And heartmath.org's research is showing actually how more powerful our heart is than our mind. It has its own neurons. It's actually formed before our brain. It holds its own memories. So we can trust in our heart's wisdom. And we even hear the cliche, like, your heart is your compass. Cliches are cliches because most of the time they are very, very true. Follow your heart. It will not steer you in the wrong way. Your mind is just gonna try and keep you safe, and that's keeping you down in your familiar. So having this conversation with yourself like you would have a conversation with a child and just explain, it's okay, we are safe to follow our heart. It's like, what does this part of you need? Maybe you need to change your definition of failure. Failure doesn't exist. It's a failure if you don't follow through, if you don't go ahead with your dreams. That any failure is a stepping stone in the direction of where you're going. Like, what does this part of you need to hear? What is the truth? That is the truth. There is no such thing as failure. Everything is a stepping stone leading you to where you're meant to go. Every failure is preparing you to the dream, the goal, the desire that you actually desire to manifest. And those challenges, the lessons, the insights that you learned and gained from them were needed for you on your path. So this just allows you to connect to yourself even deeper, and a stronger connection relationship with yourself allows you to be more in tune and make this voice louder and give this part of you what it needs. So the conditioned, wounded part of you means if your parents kind of said, no, you can't do that. That dream that you have, no. The conditioned, wounded part of you, if it's like, well, you're gonna have to work really, really hard to make money, yet your authentic, true self is like, this is where I wanna go, but it got poo-pooed on by your parents or friends, and now you're listening to their voices versus the authentic, true self of you. So this is where you would connect to that part of you. Maybe it's that little girl or boy who is 7 who had this dream that you still feel very aligned with and resonant to now to fulfill, and like hold and talk to that younger you. Maybe you have a picture of younger you and speak to that younger you. Even imagine this in your mind. Your mind doesn't know the difference between real or imaginary. So this is actually very processing, healing for your mind and your heart. Connecting to that younger part of you, that is a beautiful experience. So you can imagine and you can see that younger you and have a conversation with that younger you, advocate for that younger you, and tell yourself you wouldn't have that dream and that desire gifted on your heart if it wasn't meant for you, if you didn't have all the capabilities within you to fulfill, actualize, manifest, and physicalize that dream. So maybe this part of you needs care. Maybe this part of you needs challenge. It's like challenging ego thoughts and be like, no, that's actually not even true. And that is coming from a higher part of you, a higher level of you to challenge or care or love this part of you, this other voice, so that this can get quieter, 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 and smaller. And this becomes louder. So you need to be very conscious and aware of when this part of you, this voice comes in, and take a pause. Okay, I love this saying, which wolf am I gonna feed? Which voice, which part of me am I going to feed? I really do want to starve this side of me. And again, starve can mean love this part, younger part of you that's wounded and conditioned, to give this part of you the truth. Like, we're okay. We're meant to do this. For example, voice of my ego to keep me in the familiar is, oh, don't post on YouTube. Don't put yourself out vulnerable. People are gonna judge and criticize you. So my challenge to that was, I actually have insights. Like, I am so pulled to share these insights to support and inspire something within you. Inspire, it's in you to follow your dreams, your heart, improve your mental health, activate truth within you, activate dreams within you. So I have this pull to inspire and activate people, and through that is the means of posting on YouTube. So people are going to judge and criticize my dreams. Ego, that's because they can't see for themselves. They can't even connect to their own dreams. So it's like, unhappy people don't like happy people. Unhappy people want to see other people unhappy. Misery loves company. Again, cliche because it's true. Miserable people create misery. So ego, if people want to judge and criticize, they're pretty miserable, and we're just not available for that, ego. No, have it written around you just to remind you, okay, it's my choice. I choose what part of me to fuel, what part of me to listen to. Even take a screenshot of this and be like, okay, which voice and which part of me was I giving more power? This part of you is taking away your true power. This is the most powerful part of you. Another great action step is to connect to the wisdom of your heart, heartmath.org, 3 ways: heart touching, heart breathing, and connecting to a heart-based emotion: gratitude, kindness, compassion, love. And then you can really drop down and from up here, overthinking, ruminating, fears, worries, into the wisdom and intelligence of your heart. You can even ask your higher self, what is the action step here? You must challenge, shift, or reframe beliefs, concepts, imprints from your mind. In this video here, I go over subconscious imprints, narratives that are all part of this, part of you to shift, because every action or inaction is ruled by a belief or by a thought, which is from this part of you. What happened to you in your past, the fear, the primitive part of your mind will take over to avoid fear, failure, rejection. So it's really important to understand how to shift beliefs about yourself, narratives, imprints. You're not capable, you can't do it. You get to decide what you're capable of. So you need to come up with your own beliefs and truths about yourself to keep coming back to. Write them down, connect to your heart, your higher self, and write down what the truths are. I am capable. I wouldn't have these dreams within me if they weren't meant for me. I'm always at the right place at the right time. Everything is always working out in my highest favor. And then keep coming back to them. When you take responsibility of your inner world and really connect to what's going on, your ability to respond to the world skyrockets. Think of the word responsibility, the ability to respond. So it's your responsibility to strengthen your connection to yourself so that you truly can choose which wolf to feed and take the action, the steps in the direction of your dreams, your goals, and desires. And this isn't just a one-time thing, like continuously being aware of when this part of you is shouting, is becoming quite loud, and then giving that part of, okay, what do you need? You need to hear some truth here. That's not the truth. Okay, you actually need some of my love from my higher self if it's a younger part of you. Okay, what do you actually need? You need to be challenged here. Ego, that is not correct. Not everybody is judging and criticizing you. Tune into that so that you can boldly, courageously, confidently move forward in the direction of your dreams, goals, and desires. Already celebrating your manifestations.